What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Saturday, August 30th, 2025, and it is the last Saturday of the month. So, you know what that means. It is Sound Off Saturday. This is one of my favorite lives to do out of any month because it allows that one day out of the month for my subscribers to come up and talk about whatever it is that they want to. Now, the only thing that I ask is that you keep it to a sound off limit because I don't need everyone to go into a whole bunch of narratives. So make sure whatever it is that you want to come up and sound off about, it is something that you really want to talk about. But I love doing this because it's not a structured live. It's not surrounding a topic. It's like you just talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. It could be something about a topic I've talked about, or maybe it can be something that I haven't talked about, or whatever the case may be. I just love this particular day, mainly because this is like my laid back live. Like, we just talk about whatever. So I don't have to try to scramble to get things together, unlike the other lives that I do. But with that being said, shout out to everybody that is in here so far. Shout out to the members, the mods, everybody over there on Patreon. I'm glad that all of you are here. Let me acknowledge the people who are here so far in the chat, and we can go ahead and get right into it. We got Hacksign KT. We got Brian Mason, Neelix, Ms. Nisi, Brother Man to You, Reparations Nation, Retro Gemini, Soldier M, and shout out to Brother Man to You for the $5 super chat. He says, showing support, so appreciate you, Torian. I appreciate you. We got Dark Titan in here, and that is it so far. Okay, the link is pinned right there at the top of the chat. If anybody would like to come up and speak, you can go ahead and hit the link now. And if you haven't done so already, make sure y'all go ahead and hit the like button as well. Gamers, then what's going on? Neelix, what's going on?
Hey, okay. So how are you, Taurine?
I'm doing good.
Good. So here's the thing first off, here's the one thing that I want to talk to you about. Now with the National Guard and everything, with Trump sending the National Guard to DC, this is something that I noticed about, especially with Trump supporters and alt-right wingers and everything like that. So to make it short, back when the Sandy Hook massacre happened, and even before that, back when the shooting at the Colorado theater happened, Aurora, I believe they were playing the Dark Knight. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these, and there wasn't a name for it, but when you look back on it, a lot of these alt-right wingers assumed and really thought that those massacres were not true, were not real, and that they didn't actually happen. Their whole thing was that the government is planning these things. They're false flag operations, psyops, to get people to panic and want us to get gun control, this, that, and the third. And so that was really interesting to me when I first heard about it. So I dug deeper into, this whole mindset, like, why do these people think this way, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of those people, their whole thing was that, the government wants to come in and bring in martial law and blah, 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 all this other stuff. Now, apparently at that time, when these people claimed that these mass shootings were happening like that, they really weren't leaning neither Democrat nor Republican. Over the years, I don't know what changed, because it seems like those same people that think that these massacres and these mass shootings are false flag events, they're the ones that are supporting Trump. But what they don't realize is that Trump is doing exactly what they were afraid of doing. But they're supporting Trump still. So that's really the hypocrisy of it all, because it's like, okay, Trump has the National Guard out patrolling roads and streets and neighborhoods and cities and stuff. That's really almost technically martial law. And these people that 10 years ago thought that, the government was trying to bring in martial law and everything and do gun control, these are the same people that support Trump. I don't know if you noticed that or not, or I don't know if anybody else notices it or not, but when I look at the National Guard, and I'm like, wait a second, these are the same people that support Trump. Do they not see what's going on? Because to me, Trump is all a part of the grand scheme of things. Even though they're trying to make it seem like he's not, like he's doing something all different and everything. So that's really
It's
the
because it
hypocrisy.
really, I think it boils down to is because of who it is. A lot of them dabble in idolatry and they really idolize Trump in for whatever reason or whatever reason they may have. And it sounds good when it comes from him, but if it was anybody else, it would be bad. So like they're basically again they're doing the celebrity worship or the god idol thing with him, which a lot of them claim to be Christians, but that's not very Christian. Like you said, it's nothing but a bunch of hypocrisy that comes from that side. They dabble in it. They practically they're drowning in it, if you want to be technical. And like I said, if it was anybody else, then they would probably feel some type of way about it. But because it's him, then now they're all for it. I actually have a video, maybe not next week, but think like the week after, that's going to talk about some of the stuff that's going on in DC. I have like a video that's going to be lined up for it, and then a live that's going to follow up with that. That's coming not this upcoming week, not the week of Labor Day, but the week after. And you'll see what I'm talking about, because it's like so many narratives are being put out there and whatnot. A lot of people are putting out a lot of misinformation as it pertains to what's going on in DC. And then of course, you probably heard they say he plans on deploying them to Chicago and everything like that. And then of course, it'll spread other places as well.
Yeah. And it's now, I don't think that Trump would put in gun control, but I kind of feel like he's doing things that these people were afraid to happen. And I don't know, it's like like you said, they're drowning in it. I don't think they really see what exactly is going on, because like you said, it's the person. So that was something that I wanted to point out, because like as I'm seeing, like I did hear about they were thinking about bringing the National Guard to Chicago and all that other stuff. I'm like, yeah, I definitely had to bring that up for Sound Off Saturday. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention, so I've been blowing up your Discord about this, and you might have seen it by now, but in a little town, you did a story of something happening in South Boston, Virginia. Something else happened there recently too, and I've been trying to send the videos in Discord, but they're too long for me to send in Discord. So briefly, there's this older Black lady who's at a YMCA. Apparently, she went to the YMCA. She found a seat of hers that she wanted to sit in, and she sat in that seat. And apparently, a white lady, an older white lady, came and told the lady, well, you need to move over because I sit here. I've been sitting here for the past 15 years, blah, 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 blah. And the Black lady is like, well, I got here first. So I mean, why should I have to move over for you when I got here first? So she decides, the Black lady goes live on Facebook, and the people are trying to get the Black lady to move instead of telling the white lady just to find a different seat. So she goes on Facebook Live. There's three different videos. Her name is Maria Barksdale Spooner. She goes live three different times during the whole incident. And then the class instructor is trying to get her to move. Well, lady, well, ma'am, she's been sitting here, da 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 da. And the Black lady is like, well, if we don't have assigned seats, why can't I sit here then? Why can't the white lady move? So she puts the camera on the white lady, and the white lady is like throwing up her middle finger and sticking her tongue out at her, teasing her, and all that other stuff. It's crazy. The local news channel went out there recently. They kind of did like two different protests outside of the YMCA and all that other stuff. So I wanted to put that on your radar too, because that's blowing up pretty big, and a
Yeah.
lot of the major news stations and stuff had covered it.
Yeah, I heard about that. When you had said, I just didn't want to interrupt you, because when you was talking about it, when you brought it up, I started shaking my head like, yeah, I know exactly what she's talking about. And I did see that video. I said, people keep saying that white supremacy isn't real or that racism is gone and everything like that. I'm like, no, it's not. And when you look at the ages of those women, even especially more so that white woman, she was around during Jim Crow. When
Oh
Jim
yeah.
Crow was alive and well, she was very much of age and knew exactly what was going on. Because if I had to guess the age of that woman, she had to be like in her 70s. Like, just
Right.
by, if I had to just gauge it just based on how she looked. So that means that she was around during that time. She was definitely like a teenager during that time period. And it's like I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm just thinking about, like, imagine, even with the black lady, she probably, went through Jim Crow and dealt with it because they was around the same age.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, she probably like, man, I dealt with that as a kid, and now I'm dealing with it now as an adult. And like,
Right.
this woman is probably a grandmother. She might be a great grandmother for all we know. And it's like, wow, I had to deal with that when I was my grandkids and my great grandkids age, and now here I am in this ripe age of mine, and I'm dealing with it right now. So it's
Right.
like, that's why I said it never really ever truly goes away like that. It's still remnants of it there. Like, it never truly actually really just leaves. It's
Well, you
always
see,
going. It's always somewhere lingering.
a lot of people.
And because it wasn't that long ago.
Right. Well, a lot of people like to call me extreme, but I mean, I have researched and I've researched and read a lot of things, and I've come to the conclusion, and this might seem extreme, because everybody still wants to have hope and say, oh, we all bleed the same color, and all this other bull crap. But I mean, in my opinion, and everybody think about this now, if why is it for 400 years we have still, and I'm not going to say we, but there's a problem if you have lived amongst these people and they've lived amongst us for 400 years and they still can't seem to get along with us. I mean, we really have to think deep about these things. This is more than just skin color. And I've read 100 Years of Lynchings by Ralph Ginsberg. I'm currently reading a book now called The Cross and the Lynching Tree. And I mean, it's not normal. You're not a person if you sit and watch somebody get lynched and dismembered and cut off their ears and their genitals and their fingers and their hands and their toes and burn them alive at the stake. I mean, we have to really think deep about this stuff. This is more than just skin color. I don't think that we are all the same people, and we still want to, have this whole we shall overcome attitude. I don't think that they are us. They are not of us. I'm convinced. Because I mean, it's in their psyche. It's in their DNA. It's not more so a thought process, but this is something that's in these people DNA, and I don't think that we're really thinking a next step ahead about these things. You know what I'm saying? It seems like at any age they can't get along with anybody. Look at what's happening in our country right now. Look at what they're doing. They're trying to purposely and intentionally ruin other people's lives for their own benefit,
Mm-hmm.
and don't see the fact that they're ruining their own lives, so yeah, I mean, when I look at stuff like that, it's like, yeah, there's something up. We are not, they are not of us, but I don't want to hold you
Yeah,
long. That's all I
yeah,
had
I
to
agree.
say.
Yeah, thanks for coming up.
No problem, thank you.
All right, shout out to Neelix for kicking everything off. Next up, we got Wallow. What's going on?
What's going on, Torian? What's going on, everybody in the chat? Sorry for my tardiness. I was still at, well, I'm technically still at work, but yeah. Let's see. Have you noticed, like, when all the, have you noticed? Let me say it like this, so I won't get in trouble. Have you noticed that a lot of these women who out here, like, what's the word? Good word. Hoeing. I don't know if I can say that. I don't want to get your child in trouble throwing you, but if you notice a lot of these girls, well, these women out here who out here exposing men for sleeping around, everybody is like, um, who cares? Have you noticed that been trending lately in the comment sections that you've been reading, or you don't even notice it?
Honestly, if it's like one of those gender war type of things, I really don't pay attention to it.
Well, not much of a gender war thing. What was it? It was NBA YoungBoy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently he had a girlfriend, white girl, and the white girl probably thought she was gonna be better than all his other baby mamas.
Mm-hmm.
How some of these women think they're better than everybody, but we're not getting this. Is no disrespect to all my women in the chat. So basically, she's going online saying that he promised me this, that, and the third, and all those other stuff, and everybody was like, "Baby, how many kids did he got with how many women? And you thought you was gonna be better than him?" It ain't because you're white. It's just in general. I don't know why these women think, oh, I'm better than this woman because he with me now, not knowing he has multiple kids with multiple women. What makes you think you're going to be the one? I don't
Yeah.
understand. I just don't
And it's
understand.
not and it's not like it's not like they didn't know, because it's out there for public consumption. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I listen, I don't know. I don't know their psyche or whatever the case may be. Maybe the fact that she probably thought because she was white that she would get special treatment, because as far as I know, all of his baby mamas are black.
Yeah.
So
I don't
except
either. I
except
can't.
for except apparently for this one, like this one right here, this one is new to me. But then again, I don't keep up with NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah, it's just something that popped up on my feed. I don't know how many. I don't know if he had a white. Another. I can't. I don't keep up with NBA YoungBoy because I know who is it on. Chief Keef had one. He had a, and I'm like, some of y'all just don't think. Like, I ain't talking about races. I'm just talking about people in general. Yeah, that's right, Miss Nisi. That Cinderella syndrome. There you go, Miss Nisi. Thank you. I don't know. I just don't. I don't get it. And another thing I want to bring up, this whole mess with DC. I know you haven't talked about it yet, but well, you haven't talked about it in the live yet. But it's funny how these folks switched up so fast on what was going on with Epstein. We haven't heard about Epstein almost what, a month now?
Probably.
So it's like, damn, we haven't heard about Epstein no more. Y'all talking about all this crime is nothing but a trigger word for black people. Oh, I might go to Chicago and New York. You trying to go to New York of all places where the cops got $1 billion budget and you ain't gonna be able to cover New York. Number one, with the National Guard. And two, how much is this gonna cost everybody that pays taxes? I don't think people really thought about a lot of this stuff. They just think, oh, it's good he's getting us. Okay. Well, if the like somebody said, and you think about it, the criminals are not gonna come out when the National Guard out. Once they leave, they're gonna come right back out and everything gonna go back to the way it was.
Yeah.
Like
It's a waste. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time and a waste of resources. But like I
it
said,
really
like I said, like, in the other live that I did, the one I did on Laura Loomer on Tuesday, they're talking about that, but they're not talking about the 600,000 Chinese students that he's bringing over here, over the next year or so. Like,
Yep.
I said, I said he put all that stuff out there about the National Guard and whatnot, and that's what he's about to do now with them, and y'all aren't talking about it. Like, after I had did that live, I had went onto Twitter and I just typed in Trump 600,000, like just the keywords like that. And then, of course, some people were in there talking about it. But when I made my post about it, it wasn't anybody who came onto that post like that said anything of pushback against what I said. But when those other big outlets, I guess, talked about it, then that's when you saw people in there airing out their grievances or whatnot.
People's priorities are so fucked up these days. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. You go from it like who just said it in the chat? Dimpleface. There you go. Dimpleface said it. They went from Epstein to Cracker Barrel. Really? You went from a pedophile.
I'm still stuck on woke breakfast.
Oh my goodness.
That was funny.
Yeah, it's just sad. It's just sad. I don't know what ain't really much else to say because it's just damn. That's all you can say now is damn. And I'm gonna land my plane there, Torian. B1.
B1. Appreciate you coming up. But yeah, that woke breakfast one. That one took me out. Bridget, whatever her last name is, I forgot her last name. Talking about saying no to woke breakfast. I said, what the hell is a woke breakfast? They crazy out here. Again, if y'all want to come up, make sure y'all hit the link that is pinned right there at the top of the chat. Neelix said, did white people specifically make a big deal about Cracker Barrel? Yes, they did. They was crashing out about that logo all over Twitter for like almost a good week. Like last week, until Cracker Barrel came back and said, okay, well, we heard y'all. We're going to go ahead and keep the original logo. And the thing is, and I have to correct myself because I know in the live when I was talking about it, I had said that there's not really, if people aren't saying that if they're not in the South or like somewhere like that, then I don't know why they're talking about Cracker Barrel, forgetting that there are Cracker Barrels on the upper northeast coast. But now I will stand on, when you start going out further west, you won't find Cracker Barrels like that. Because that's now Cracker Barrel's mostly an East Coast thing. I don't know really if there's any Cracker Barrels that go out are like on the West Coast like that. But yeah, thanks, KG Gabriel, Bridget Gabriel. She was the one that said that comment about the woke breakfast. That's so what? These people have completely lost the plot. This is exactly why I can't wait for MAGA to fall. I can't wait for them to crumble. That'll be the day. Exactly, Neelix. Feel nothing. Feel absolutely nothing for them. But they have to have something to whine or complain about and then have the nerve to tell us that we're victims. And also, again, shout out to all of y'all that love my deep dive videos. There will be more to come. As a matter of fact, I recorded 2 of them this morning. That'll be coming in about 2 weeks. 2 Fridays from yesterday, I should say, is when you'll see it. Because I already have all my videos ready to go for next week. Because in case y'all don't know, I batch record my videos, which is basically I pick a day to just start going on a recording rampage, so to speak. And I chose today to do that since all I had to do today was this live right here. And I did those videos this morning. I actually have one more video that's going to be a reaction style video, something I came across on Threads that I got to record as well. But I may not record that until maybe tomorrow. Because recording all that stuff and you got to edit it, it drains you. It really does. Lives are easier to do because it's in real time, opposed to pre-recorded videos, because there's a lot of structuring and restructuring you got to do. There might be something you have to go and add in, maybe something you got to take out. Sort of like that video I did this morning about Taylor Townsend. When I was getting ready to upload it, YouTube hit me with the little copyright thing because of the video that was inserted in there at the beginning. That's why if you looked at the video, it says due to copyright, I had to use screenshots, but I left the audio in so you could actually hear it, but you just couldn't see it in motion. That's why I had to do that. It wasn't a strike or anything like that, but I just had to leave it in. I had to remove the video and just put screenshots in there because of that. Because I think it came from ESPN. So you know how that goes, but we good now. And the video is currently monetized. KG, what's going on? You're driving?
Of course, I gotta go to work. We gotta make the second paycheck today.
What's going on?
Same old is.
And shout out to you for doing that. And shout out to you for doing that live today.
Oh, we didn't even finish it. There was like another 30. I couldn't do it.
Wait a minute, it sounded like you cut out.
Let's rapid taste, MAGA. Come in. Am I good now?
Yeah.
Let me rapid taste to MAGA real fast. I don't want to bring MAGA to your channel, but I got a question. How did y'all let Donald Trump is dead trend on Twitter?
I saw that. I didn't feed into that because I was like, I don't know, this doesn't sound true, but I know there were people that wanted to be true.
Oh yeah. They're like, I haven't seen him in days. He ain't tweet nothing. I'm like, okay. Why y'all concerned now? When Biden did it, y'all wanted a whole expose to find out where he at. I don't see y'all traveling to DC. DC is supposed to be crime free now, right? You should be able to go there. Go find out where's all this access you said you had to the president. But nobody wanted to say nothing, right? All right.
And also, before you go to your next thing, KG, what's that thing with his hand?
They said he had some kind of venous condition, like blood is pooling in his veins.
Oh,
yeah. So they said it's typical for somebody of that age to have that, but it's just that they've never seen it that pronounced on a hand before. 'Cause I asked a doctor that I know. They were like, yeah, it's usually a couple spots or that, but that mark shouldn't be that big. So there might be something really wrong with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but he obese. But you know, it is what it is. But uh Torian, I don't know if you're ever going to talk about old Jordan Wells, but there was a lot to cover. The boy lied, like most black conservatives do. They lied.
Well, I mean, I kind of figured that.
First,
I'll put it like this.
Mhm.
If I do talk about him, it'll be definitely in the form of a triple P, for sure.
Yeah. Oh no, he said something in there real triple P worthy. He said he loves Mark Robinson.
I caught that part right before I was getting ready to get on this live. I said, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But the boy lied, talking about he got fired because of his values. But then I come to find out he wrote another video saying he got fired for reading To Kill a Mockingbird.
I remember we had to read that when I was in high school. We had to read the book and then we watched the movie.
But here's the thing: he's in charge of fourth graders. Well, he was in charge.
He was, exactly. I was going to correct
you. He was. Why are you reading To Kill a Mockingbird to fourth graders?
Yeah, because when we read To Kill a Mockingbird, I was in high school.
Right. I tell you, them conservatives be lying, boy. They learned well from their clan cousins. They learned well. He talking about he got fired in Florida.
Yeah. A lot of people when they first heard about it, they said it has to be something more to it than what he's claiming. Because I remember he said he was forced to resign and everything like that. I said something about this just does not seem right. I mean, I'm not mad that you was quote unquote forced to resign because you practically broke protocol, but I think it's more to the story than you're telling.
Yeah, he broke his contract. And he said as much in the videos, but he figured his dumb white audience would not pick up on it. Just like his dumb white audience saw his gifts and go and only gave him $335. And he asked for $5,000, talking about he needs security. For what?
Exactly. You know what? No one looking for him.
And he lived in the hoods. And he's renting his house. But, you know, at least he's renting a house. We're not mad at him. But his area is below the poverty line. Close to it. It's close to it.
So basically he's trying to get out of his current situation.
Correct. That's why he keeps promoting the fact he went on Jubilee, he went on Dr. Phil, he was on Newsmax. He tried to do that interview with that white boy, and only about 45 people saw it. He's trying to become a celebrity.
Just like the rest of them.
Oh, yeah. And unfortunately, it's not going to work because when old Winston Sears loses in Virginia, that's going to be the beginning of end for the right-wingers and MAGA. That's going to be the Mission Impossible wick being lit.
So you pretty much have gauged that Winston Sears is going to lose. You pretty much have estimated.
She's not being Spamberger. It's not happening.
Okay. So how much do you think she's going to lose by a little, or is going to be a landslide?
It'll be, I won't say a landslide. I'll say it's Virginia. Let me see. Richmond, Norfolk, Virginia Beach. What the other one? Roanoke. She might lose by maybe 130,000, I might say. Because she don't got national GOP backing her right now. They don't like her GOP in her state don't even want to touch her.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on the part when she said her dad came over here with $1.75.
Them MAGA trolls was cooking her in there for that.
$1.75.
You can't listen. You can't even buy nothing on the plane for that. Come on now.
Even back then,
that's a lot of money. But yeah, I mean I don't know. I don't trust these people. But like I said, when she falls, Byron Donalds, I hope loses his primary because I think theirs is in January. I hope he loses that, and then it's just gonna be snowball. And then November 3rd is gonna be a beautiful night. We might see a Democrat landslide.
Mm-hmm.
They already talking about JD. Talking about he ready to take over. I'm like, here we go.
Right.
But it is what it is.
Exactly.
We just got to put your head down and just do what you got to do every day. Just make sure your family's straight. That's it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm going to continue listening and I'm going to go to work and make this second paycheck.
All right. Appreciate you coming up.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to KG for coming up, aka Jalo Way. And also, before I bring up the next person, shout out to Miss Nisi for the 10. She says, showing support for all of your hard work, Torian. I appreciate you. All right, let me bring up the. Hold on, y'all. Let me bring up the next person, King Skywalker. What's going on?
What's up, Torian?
What's going on?
You know, I got a nickname for Elon.
What's that?
I think the new black media should start calling him the ghost of unpassed.
The ghost of what?
Unpassed.
Why do you say that?
Because number one, because he's hideous. He's a very ugly man. And two, it's just very complicated. And
Okay.
And also, I think it's funny that we haven't heard very much about our old friend Elon lately.
He's no friend. He's no friend of mine. Listen, at this point, the less we hear about him, the better. I don't want to hear about him. So as far as I'm concerned, my day is good as long as I don't have to know about what's going on with him. I'm completely fine with that. And I'm on Twitter practically every day, and that's his platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The last thing I've heard of him is that his rockets blew up. That's the last thing I heard about him.
Oh, that happened a while ago. There's been some stuff that's come out about him since then, but that shows you how much you have not been paying attention to him, because that happened like last year or something like that. But there's been some stuff that has happened since then. So as far as you were concerned, you're not really keeping up much with him either. And hey, I'm fine with that too.
Yeah, because I mostly just keep up with the Republicans and Trump and all that. So I got, and so
is there anything else?
Yeah. Oh, and yeah. So, what do you think about the DC and what's going on in DC with the military?
It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of resources. Like, anytime anybody asks me that question, that's usually going to be my go-to response, that it's a waste of time and it's a waste of resources. One of the last images that I saw yesterday, or maybe the day before, they actually had the military out there on trash duty. Like, I actually saw them out there picking up trash and putting it in trash bags and emptying out garbage bins. Like, literally, that's what I saw them doing. Now, to my people that's in the military, to my knowledge, I think that one of the duties that they do have, some of them do, is trash duty. But I'm like, y'all called them from wherever they were to come to DC to battle with this quote unquote crime-ridden zone area, like you put it. But all you're doing out there, excuse me, is picking up trash while they're in their military uniform, might I add. Okay, it's not like they're wearing regular clothes. Like, they're out there in their military uniform and their fatigues, picking up trash.
Yeah, which I found to be very respectful. for the party that claims to love the military.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've seen. They don't really have them doing much, and it's crazy. I actually went into DC for the first time in a couple of weeks a couple of days ago because I had to do a training down there. I didn't see any military down there where I was at. I don't know if they just didn't have them patrolling that area, whatever the case is. But I also noticed too when I was down there how quiet it was. Like usually because if the weather is nice, you'll have people that's outside. Granted, one excuse you can use is that school has just started back up, so it's probably not going to be a lot of people outside, but not necessarily in certain parts of DC. I didn't see a lot of people outside like that when I went down there. And I think I went down there and it was a Wednesday. It was like Wednesday evening, like in the 4 or 5 o'clock hour, when you would think people would still be outside like that. But it wasn't a lot of people outside. Like really, it's almost like I was like, is it 2025 or is it 2020? Like those streets were like empty. And like I said, I didn't see at all the military out there. And I was looking, and I went to a place in DC where you would think that they would be present, but they weren't. But don't get it twisted. Just because you don't see them doesn't mean that they aren't out there, because they are.
And basically just wasting their time because I don't get where all this crime is supposed to be coming from. Where all this
a lot of the stuff that they're talking about is made up, and a lot of people that have something to say about it don't even live in DC. That's the crazy part. Like I'm sure you've seen like the people who love to talk about a lot of black populated areas like DC, Baltimore, Atlanta, Chicago, LA to a Houston, anywhere there's a lot of black people they love to say how bad crime is there. But a lot of the people that are saying that don't even live there. Some of them never even have been there, whether it's for like a job or maybe they're going on vacation or whatever the case is, but they've never even been to these locations. But they have so much to say based off of something that they've seen on social media or especially on Twitter. Anything where propaganda can get pushed out there, especially about black people, they'll say that it's this and that and the third, and never even been around black people. Goes back to the live that I did on Thursday about Nick Fuentes. He said all this stuff about black people, but he's not even around black people. He doesn't live around black people. He doesn't hang around black people. So he's basically a propaganda artist. And what is my motto? The foundation of every grifter's grift is the degradation of black people, especially foundation of black Americans.
And I found it funny that he got mugged by 2 white people, but he had no smoke for them.
Exactly.
They pulled up on him and basically mugged his ass. Well, that's
yes,
all.
Same thing. Okay. Thanks for coming up. Shout out to King Skywalker for coming up. Next, we got Pam from Pam Entertainment TV. What's going on, Pam?
Oh, nothing much. Good morning, everybody. I didn't come up here for nothing. I heard y'all talking about DC and the guy that says he owns Twitter, aka X, and all of that. I don't really have anything to say. I was a little curious, but you talked about it with this young man that you just had on there about the military being in Washington, D.C. And I'm just sitting here thinking, for a party who says that they want to save money and save the taxpayers' money, they sure have a way to spend this money just crazy. Trash duty, what is it, $1 million a week or $1 million a day, and you have them on trash duty.
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand. We understand it, but I think that those people that are sucking the teat of the president don't realize how that looks worldwide. I think that they think because if they're suppressing certain things, that suppressing social media and all these things, that things are not getting out. It's getting out.
Yeah.
And we look silly. We look absolutely positively silly. Patrolling the states, talking about crime. And mind you, if you really take a look at it, the only place that they really believe that their crime is where they know that there are black mayors in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Because where I live at down in Alabama, they're talking about now coming to Montgomery because, we have a black mayor here. And they're like, well, it's just so much crime going on. And I'm like, no, we not in comparison to anything, but crime is never going anywhere.
Exactly.
Go
And
ahead.
also too, like, I mean, did we just forget about what happened in Minneapolis just a couple days ago?
Oh, but you know what? That's not really truly counted as crime. Uh, Well,
Right.
I'm being very serious because when you start thinking about when they talk about crime and crime statistics and the way that they manipulate certain things, I'm willing to bet you when they talk about what happened up there in Minneapolis, they're going to list it as destruction of property. They're going to have it listed at something to that effect. And what's also interesting about that is now, had that young man been looked like us, walked
Mm,
and talked like us, the
mm,
first people they wanted to blame would have been his mama and his daddy and them, and how he didn't come from a good family and all this other stuff, and how hood and how ghetto he was. But yet we don't hear anything about his parents or anything about their raising of their child. If you look in our society, the number one pruners from the timeline for kids in school look like our president, look like our president's son. But
mm.
they don't talk about that. And that kind of, I think the wonderful thing I think about now what's going on, and particularly with the generation behind me thing, people are not letting things slide. People are calling things out. People are making you look at that. And like I said, everybody wants thoughts and prayers, and the police are up there. Well, we're going to, make sure everything is safe. Excuse me.
Right.
Excuse me. This child this person was able to run amok. And I don't mean that, and I don't mean to be ugly or thing, but he had parents that I'm trying to find the words, Torian. He had parents that didn't pay attention to him cycling in or out of control. They
Mm-hmm.
chalked it up of him being oh, well, he's just lonely, he's a lonely male. They chalked it up
Then
for
they
all
need to
these.
then they need to, then in that case, since you said that, they need to lock the parents up, because that's what they got Ethan Crumbly on. Because well, his parents rather, because he got a life sentence, and I think his parents got like 10 to 15 years in prison because of negligence, for
Yes,
the homicide. And if they can actually get them on the same thing, they're going to get locked up too, or they should.
I think it's, you can't ignore stuff like that away. You just can't
Mhm.
ignore it away. And there's
Exactly.
no way in the world that you're going to make me believe that people are so that they didn't see any signs of what was going on with this person. And what I mean by that is, we know odd people, and then we know folks that got issues. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? We know
Yeah.
odd people. There's just people who are just odd. But we know folks that have issues, and he seemed like he had some issues. But again, that's not what I really came up here for. I just came up here to say you're doing such a wonderful job, and I
Thank you.
appreciate you. Every time I see you on any live, you make sure you say hello. So I was coming over here to say hello, and hello to
Thank
your
you.
chat, and I'm gone now.
All right. Appreciate you coming up. And shout out to Pam for coming up. And if y'all have not subscribed to Pam Entertainment TV, please do so. She does a lot of celebrity news, different celebrity court cases. I think right now she's doing the Cardi B thing. I think that's the last thing I saw her talking about, and I think that's what she's covering right now. But she does a lot of good work over on her channel. She kind of reminds me of Flo Anthony. If y'all are familiar with the celebrity columnist Flo Anthony, that's who she kind of reminds me of. But next up, we got Joseph Washington. What's going on?
Well, let me just say salute to you, Torian, in the chat room, and I gotta smack myself on the forehead because I almost missed this sound off Saturday.
Well, good thing that you made it, because then you would have
Yes,
had to wait a whole nother month.
And yeah, with how things are out here, it's like you can't procrastinate the time, man, especially if you got an engagement.
Hmm.
One thing I noticed about this summer, if you're not listening to as Professor Black Truth said, the voices of the new black media, what you're seeing now is a bunch of recycled material.
Mm.
I was talking about this with someone at work today, saying that this summer has been a lot less active than in the past.
In what way?
Like what usually happens in the summer, people travel either by
Mm. Oh,
road or by flight or even by boat, and not
think
much of that. Hmm?
that's because stuff is expensive. Stuff is going up. Like so, I actually had heard uh that people this year are probably going to start their Christmas shopping even earlier than usual. Like right now, while prices might slightly be down on certain things that they want to get, because once November hit, that's when they're going to skyrocket on everything. And don't wait until December hits. I'll put it this way. You know how a lot of people do last minute shopping for Christmas gifts for their family members? That's
Yep.
probably going to be low this year. You're probably not going to have that many people doing last minute shopping this year because stuff is going to be so expensive. I won't even be surprised if a lot of people don't even indulge in Black Friday sales or even Cyber Monday sales this year because I'm gonna just say it because of them tariffs. Like stuff is so expensive. A lot of people cannot afford it, and it just is what it is. And like Jennifer just said in the chat, jobs are scarce. So if you're not making no money like that, then how can you afford to go on these trips or buy these gifts or anything like that? Unless you are like a multi-millionaire to some degree, or maybe someone who's making like a good six figures, or you have some very good liquid income, then you are literally just going to be like, okay, do I or don't I?
Yeah, speaking of the do I and don't I's, for like the people out there like still searching for like a job, just have your schedule ready in advance for whatever shift they give you,
Mm-hmm.
because that's even scarce as well too.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of people don't want to believe that. Like I've seen so many people who I've seen a lot this year of conversations of people saying they go on into business for themselves because they can't find gainful employment for whatever reason. And the crazy part about it is it's a lot of people that are in Gen Z that are saying that. We're talking about people who are getting ready to go into the workforce. And then we're now in Generation Alpha. In a couple more years, they'll be saying the same thing. That's why you see a lot. That's why you've seen now. I don't know if you've noticed or anybody in the chat has noticed it, but there has been an influx of quote unquote streamers lately, and a lot of them are doing that because they cannot get that gainful employment. So they found another avenue to make money. And the thing is, they also have it's become very competitive because streamers have now is a very saturated market. If this was like maybe pre-pandemic, they might have been able to get in and get on the ground floor. But after the pandemic hit, after 2020, when you really couldn't work, that was the time when you should have really, really, really went into it at that
Yeah,
point.
you just took the words out of my mouth, because I was about to say the progenitor of that was the pandemic and the workforce exodus that happened. And I'm glad Professor Black Truth, before he went on his hiatus, broke that down, comparing, where the white media did a comparison of Black women leaving the workforce versus white women. And before he did his closing, like, remarks on his moment of truth, I was like, I'm so glad he put that in context, what's really happening and why during the pandemic that workforce exodus happened. People just got sick and tired of the morale of the job, and it was like, you know what? What do I do? Drive myself here and take this abuse, or really go into business for myself and, have myself be in a better state of mind while still making gainful ends to like, pay these bills that maybe do other things if I save up.
Yeah. Exactly. But everyone's going to be feeling it though. Like, it's not going to be just one thing or the other. People are going to feel it. I would say the difference is some are going to feel it more than others, but everyone is going to feel it to an extent. Even the people that voted for it, they may not see it now, but they're going to see it eventually. That's why it be killing me when I be going on Twitter, especially when they be talking about how the terrorists are good. I said, y'all keep saying that now, but once it actually touches you, then you're going to be sitting up there with egg on your face.
And the irony of it, these tariffs are happening, but in the meanwhile, and this is an interesting twist on the immigration thing they're doing. Is like Trump letting over like 600,000 Chinese over like the course of 10 years.
Yep,
I
I
was
mentioned that. I mentioned that in my live about Laura Loomer on Tuesday.
Oh, and let me just say this to you. Thank you for doing the breakdown on how to deal with rage-bait content.
I
I
appreciate
had
you. I got a lot of feedback from that one. I think out of all of the deep dives that I've done so far, that's the one where I think I got the most feedback, and a lot of people was very appreciative of that one. But like I said, I got more to come. I actually did I recorded 2 deep dive videos today, and they're gonna bounce off of each other. That's why I'm gonna upload them on the same day, and now
oh,
y'all will see that when it happens. But I also got some more deep dives that are coming throughout this upcoming week as well. So definitely be on the lookout for those. I'm glad y'all like those.
and the other deep dive before that you did was the superhero the black superheroes in the background. Let man, I would have to rewatch that again because it's like it speaks on so many things just
Yeah.
outside of that particular realm.
Yeah. And that's why, like, like how they say in the news realm, there might be a slow news day. That's why I do those deep dives, because it might be a slow news day. Like, something may not come across me that might hit like that. So I say, you know what? Let me start doing these deep dive videos. And I'm glad that people love them. Because it was kind of like it was almost like a cold run, like a cold test type of thing to see how it would work or how people would receive it. But people love them. So, I said, you know what? Let me come on and let me keep doing them. And the thing is a lot of the times when I do those deep dive videos, it's nothing that I plan to talk about. Like, it's not like something I write down and say, oh, I'm gonna talk about this and this and this. It might be something that I saw in passing or something I may have watched that may have triggered something in me to say, you know what? I think I could turn this little thing into a much wider and broader topic. And that's what it all it boiled down to. But yeah, I appreciate it. Like I said, I have a couple of more deep dive commentaries that'll be coming this upcoming week. Let me see. I think I have 2, maybe 3 coming next week. And the thing about it is, a lot of the times those deep dives are on topics that we talked about, but we only touched on it. We didn't really go into a full-blown overarching theme about it.
And let me say this. I don't know if he's gonna hear it, but let me just put it out there. Congrats to the pro gamer Sonic Fox for tying Justin Wong on the number of Evo wins over the course of the tournament's lifespan. Justin
Who's this?
Wong, Sonic Fox, the pro Mortal Kombat player, he actually tied the Marvel player Justin Wong in number of Evo wins, which is 8.
Oh, well, congratulations. Well, listen, I don't keep up with like those like gaming tournaments like that, but congratulations to him. Now, it's funny you bring up Mortal Kombat because have you heard the latest about that?
I missed that. What's happening with it?
Well, you know that Mortal Kombat 2, it got delayed to May of next year.
Wow.
Because it was supposed to come out in October, but they delayed it all the way until May.
Well, I guess there's more time to polish things up, and I hope that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I think that might be what it is, and for them to delay it that far out into the future like that, that means it must be some reshoots in there that they might want to do. It has to. That's probably what it might be. Some reshoots that they want to do. I didn't read into the reason why, but for them to delay it that far out there, it has to be like a reshoot or some sort for them to delay it. It's not like they're delaying it a month. They're delaying it like multiple months. Like they're moving it from the fall to the summer. And I think they said the new date is May 15th, 2026.
Day before my birthday. How about that?
And then I think on top of that, when I think about it too, they probably wanted it to be a summer movie as well. Because I always thought that was kind of odd that they released a movie like that in the fall. Because I know that the one that they came out with a couple years ago came out in like April, which was right before the summer hit. And then it's a crowded month because when I looked at what's coming out in October, you had Tron Ares, The Black Phone 2, and Mortal Kombat 2. That's a pretty packed month, like with some big films coming out. And they're all coming out one behind the other, like 1 week, then another week, then another week. So they probably also did it that way too, so they can make room for it to see if so it could make some money away and separate from a crowded and packed month. Because now you're going up against Disney with Tron Ares, and I think Blumhouse with Black Phone 2. So that's probably another reason why they did it. But my number one reason is probably because of reshoots.
Yep, and probably editor polishing. I hope the writing doesn't change because it seems like the thing with these movies and shows, whenever they delay something, the writing has changed.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
We'll
see. We'll see, because like the report just went out like yesterday, I think. So I don't know if it's too much information. So a lot of people are speculating because of reshoots, as to the reason why, or maybe they could be adding something in there that wasn't in the original movie.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I came back here. I'm gonna try to make more of these, and thanks for having me up.
No problem. Thanks for coming up. Shout out to Joseph Washington for coming up. I appreciate it. And that's probably going to bring this edition of Sound Off Saturday to a close because no one else has clicked the link. And I tried to keep the conversations going a little bit longer just to give people time to come up in case they might want it to come up. But no one else has clicked the link the whole time I was talking to Joseph. So that is probably going to bring this edition of Sound Off Saturday to a close. We got it done in an hour, which I'm very appreciative of. The next live, of course, will be tomorrow, True Crime Sunday. If y'all see the community tab, y'all already see what the topic is going to be on. I'm going to put the pre-show window up after this live is over. But also tomorrow, we have a Triple P video coming, a brand new Triple P entry coming tomorrow at 10 a.m. And I know y'all are going to love this. But shout out to Brother Man to you and Ms. Nisi for contributing to the super chat. Again, shout out to all the members, all the mods, everybody over there on Patreon, everybody in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, make sure that you do. And with that being said, I will talk to you all tomorrow in the video and as well for True Crime Sunday. With that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Be safe and most importantly, be one.